there, welcome once again to the Dukascopy TV studio here in Geneva. I'm Ben Jones. Alongside me, fresh off the ECB's decision to cut their base interest rate, is Eric Vanraes. Eric, once again, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Ben.
So let's go straight in and discuss this cut. They've gone from 0.15% to 0.05%. Can we get your initial reaction to this?
My initial reaction is that it's a surprise, but not really, because Mr. Draghi said in Jackson Hole that the ECB was ready to use all the weapons to fight deflation, and he said that the risk is not to do too much, but to do not enough, because the European situation is really alarming.
Okay, and what do you think this decision will do for the currency?
This is a very good decision, because the deposit rate, which was already negative since June at minus 10 basis points, is now at minus 20, and the immediate reaction of the forex market is that the euro dollar is below 130 now, and it's a smart decision for the ECB, because if the euro weakens against the dollar, it's another way to improve the situation in Europe, and also to import inflation. And the problem of the ECB now is deflation in the eurozone. So if we have more imported inflation due to a weaker euro against dollar, it's a very good decision. The problem of the ECB is that the normal weapon is to decrease the rate. Now the rate is at zero, or almost zero. They said that it's the last one now. So they have to do something else. So to take decisions to weaken the euro is a good one. To decide an asset-backed purchase is a good one. The next step is probably QE, but they will wait for the last moment if it's necessary, because you know that QE, there are still legal problems in different countries. They disagree on the exact measures of QE. So QE will be the last one if needed. But they did a lot today with the rate and the ABS purchase.
Okay, now as a whole, how has the euro economy been performing? Obviously, we're not seeing the same statistics that we are from the US or the UK, but what's the overall situation?
The situation is awful, almost awful. That's why the ECB was not really in a panic mode, but almost, because they did a lot in June, and we are only 3 months after the ECB meeting in early June. And in June, Mr. Draghi said this rate cut is the last one. And today, 3 months after, they cut the rate. So it means that in the meantime, in August, the statistics that the ECB received from the statistics department was not good in terms of inflation and in terms of growth. And the German situation is also alarming, because in the past we used to say, yes, but German is the best in class, they still have growth. And now the situation in Germany is not good. And of course the geopolitical situation, Germany is closer to Russia than Spain and France. So if the geopolitical situation in Ukraine is still a problem in the coming months, the first economy to suffer in the big countries will be Germany. Of course, the first to suffer is maybe Finland or Austria, but Germany, you know, the number one suffers more than the French and the periphery. The immediate reaction of the market was not, the Bund was stable around 0.90 points, but we saw a rally of Italian, Portuguese and Spanish government bond yield. That's very important, and that's because the deflation risk is higher, of course, in the periphery than in the bigger countries.
Okay, so what has been the situation for government bond yields recently?
German Bund yields decreased dramatically below 1%. It was, 6 months ago or 1 year ago, it would have been something totally crazy to say that. But it's normal because I often say that if you want to forecast the government bond yield, you can take a projection of growth, inflation, and to add something. If you have zero growth and zero inflation, to have very low yields, it's normal. That's why there is a spread with the US Treasuries, because I often read or listen to experts that say, look at the spread between German Bund and US Treasury. It's at a record high. It's not normal, so we should do something. No, it's a record high, but it's normal, because the spread between Germany and US yields reflects the spread of growth between Europe and US and the spread of inflation between Europe and US. So if in the US you have a growth of 2% and inflation of 1%, you have yields around 3%. Today it's 240, but you have yields broadly around 3%. If you have 0 plus 0, you have very, very low yields. And consequently, the spread is wider. But it's not, I would not do a strategy on this point. It's not because it's a record high that we should play this spread tightening. This spread will stay large because inflation and growth will be totally different in Europe and in the US. There is a decoupling of the two economies, and the spread is only reflects this difference.
Eric, once again, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Ben.
And thank you for watching. Do make sure you keep clicking back to Dukascopy TV, as we'll be bringing you plenty more updates and exclusive interviews. Bye for now.